Welcome, fellow Clashers, to another episode of Clash of Clans Attacks, where today I am speaking specifically about Town Hall 8 farming. Now, I have to preface this episode by saying this obviously does not apply to Town Halls 9 and 10. In fact, I am asking for players to let me know down below their input and feedback on farming at Town Hall 9 and 10, and perhaps in the future I can visit some clans, take a look at some first-hand experiences, but unfortunately I just don't have the time or the accounts to be farming at every single Town Hall level. I've got my Town Hall 8 account, Galadon, and he is completely farmed up. I have not gemmed any of his resources, but as you can see here, from time to time I do leave the collectors and the mines full, and what we're watching here is a pretty effective use of troops to get the maximum amount of resources. And the interesting part is I've got two replays here back to back that are almost identical in the amount of loot that I had to offer an attacker. So this attacker did bring the Archer Queen, a bunch of wizards, a dragon, a bunch of spells, but only ended up using the archers. Very smart raid. He had troops ready for a more complicated, deeper raid if he wanted to get in and grab somebody who had maybe a massive amount of dark elixir or resources just sitting in those storages. I did not. It was almost all on the outside, and there you go, a very effective use of about 170 archers, grabbing about 500,000 in loot and 600 dark. And so here's another raid, almost exact same amount available, and this attacker using golems, wizards, and heroes and jump spells, so not exactly a brilliant or economically smart move here. He's going to end up getting just about the same amount of loot as the last raid, but this raid is going to cost far more, and it's not just resources we have to think about, but time. An archer raid, a barch raid, even a barchquake raid that we'll see here in a couple of minutes on boosted barracks only takes about 15 minutes to train up, so you could be running 4 of those attacks an hour. Plenty of time to make back what you would lose, or say what I just lost in one of these raids, which of course is going to give me a shield. Because I've protected the core pretty well, I'm keeping my dark elixir protected as well, and we're going to show a good versus poor protection in a few minutes. It should, you think, be obvious, but you guys have to remember, most of you that are watching this are the more experienced player who know the basic mechanics of the game. A lot of people we can see from base designs and layouts and even from attacks aren't as familiar, haven't done the research, and may not be as efficient in either gaining or trying to prevent losing loot. So there it was, not very efficient. And so here we go, we're going to take a look at my Bargequake raid, and this right here, this player obviously protecting his dark elixir pretty well. 1600 available. It cost me a little more than 500 in dark elixir to train up this raid with the 4 earthquakes. Now, I'm not going to use any of the other spells. I'm going to avoid using the king. I've just got the barch going now. I've got that wide open gap that's going to lead me almost directly to the dark elixir. And now I'm using barbarians and archers on the outside, or just archers right now, to clear these surrounding structures. I'm working on a path just like a Go Wipe raid or anything else. Thank you for the donated giants in the clan castle. They're going to move in and help distract some of those defenses. And now I can send in the barbarians and the archers, working on clearing out this next layer of storages, as our really primary goal right here was just to get to dark elixir. Again, my Galadon account is almost completely maxed out at Town Hall 8, except for walls and a couple of dark troops that still need upgrades. So again, specifically just after the dark elixir, barbarians moving in, clearing out structures pretty well. The archers, not a great deployment. I'm losing a lot off to the left, but again, I just want that dark. I just want to get into the center and grab the dark elixir, and you can see that is what's happening right there with those archers. Now, I probably could have pushed a little bit deeper, gone after that town hall, remembering that there is a large percentage of the dark elixir being stored there as well. But right here, I have grabbed almost 1500 in dark elixir, so the profit is going to be roughly 1,000. And one thing I do have to complain about, the new league bonus system absolutely sucks eggs. I'm not happy about it. I do not like the idea that you only get a portion of the league bonus for a successful or well-orchestrated attack. In my opinion, 50% should be enough to get 100% of the league bonus. They've done away with town hall sniping. That is enough penalization. I can see where that was taking an unfair advantage of the system, but there I totally think 50% damage, 100% bonus. So moving on to the next replay, let's recall the first replays. Each defending player received at least a 12-hour shield, so a fairly well-designed base, at least well enough designed to protect some of the resources and ensure a shield for a successful attack, but here we've got a player who is not protecting his Dark Elixir efficiently. This base might be good for anti-air, more of a clan war setup, but I am going after the Dark Elixir, and it's not the most efficient deployment of the archers as they get bombarded by these mortars, but I am going to get in there anyway, take all that Dark Elixir, and the problem with this defense is, by the time I leave, this player is not going to receive a shield, so he is going to be up again for another defense and obviously needs to redesign his base. And speaking of efficiency, also notice that I did not use the Earthquake spell, so I expended 0 Dark Elixir in this raid, yet picked up over 1,200. Again, it's all about efficiency and farming. I don't claim to be the best farmer, but I am doing my best to try to efficiently use my resources and preserve them with a relatively good base design. So here we've got a player from Big and Round from Full Attack, and he is moving in on a bigger store of Dark Elixir in this Town Hall 9. He has used the Earthquake spells on the interior of the base, and then Giants on the exterior, a few wall breakers. He's gotten through the external wall, and again he's focused on just going straight to the middle, getting to that core, getting 2,500 in Dark Elixir, and a nice rage spell there from Big and Round, fat fingering the rage spell, but nonetheless, the units will head right into the core right after those X-bows and the Dark Elixir storage. So again, this is Town Hall 8's farming. I cannot speak to the Town Hall 9 and 10 farming community, but I do understand that obviously at Town Hall 9 you've added Expos, that makes things more difficult. At Town Hall 10 you're adding Infernos, and that makes it almost impossible for a raid like this to get into a core. You're never going to get into the core with a cheap army when you're facing maxed out Expos or nearly maxed out Expos or Inferno towers, and that is the problem. Because the League bonus system is so biased towards these high percentage damage attacks, how are you ever expecting to get the League bonus with a cheap army and come out with a profit? So that again is a problem that I hope to see fixed in the future, and also perhaps some sort of defensive bonus as well for well-designed bases. That is something I would absolutely love to see in the future. So again, please leave your feedback, your comments down below. I am looking to visit some Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 10 farming clans. It may be after the holidays, as right now I'm still in Finland. I'll be traveling for the Christmas holiday as well. But you know I always read your comments. I appreciate your feedback and your constructive criticism. And until tomorrow, get out there and make every attack a full attack.
Galadon, who cares about the League bonus? There needs to be a gym box bonus.